What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. 3rd of November, almost match day on Sunday, where we play Fiorentina. But there is some news to talk about today, which we're going to go over with in this video. We have Samardzic, potentially Inter back in the race to kind of steal it or don't steal him from us. We have Arthur to Fiorentina on a discount price. Douglas Costa talk again, you might say, and Colpani from Monza for, in my opinion, a kind of crazy amount of money. But we're going to talk about that, obviously. Before we do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification if you're new, and let's go straight into it. Before I talk about the news, really quickly, because again, people are asking it, you're not going to see Julian on the channel anymore, / maybe once a month we will do a recap podcast because he's extremely busy with his life. There's no issues with me between me and Julian. It's just what it is. So once a month, maybe. I'm going to change a few things on the channel, have some different things planned to do. Working on a few stuff. If you guys have ideas for shows or whatever, let me know in the comments, and I will take that into consideration. If you want to have your say, reach out to me, and we can sort something out to a show together. But the news, Samardzic, and actually, I talked about Samardzic 2 weeks ago. No, not 2 days ago, I think. And I said in that video, who knows? Maybe Inter comes back in for him, but it seems very unlikely because of the midfield they have. That's why this story, when it came out, and it says Inter is not giving up on signing Samardzic, and they will try to make a move for him in January, with Juve ready to accelerate talks in the coming weeks. Now, I said that 2 days ago, I was like, maybe potentially Inter could come back into him, but I was like more of a, they were trying to, mess about. I don't think they really need him. I don't think that's where they're going to spend their money, if I'm being completely honest, and I could be completely wrong. But they have kind of a stacked midfield already. This feels more, if it's true, obviously, more of an act of driving up the price, which we do, which every club does with rivals. I don't have a feeling that they're going to do that. Also, the relationship between his agent, father, Inter, is not great. After what happened last season, it's really not great. So I'll be absolutely stunned if that's actually the case. I think at this moment in time, it's a deal for Juve to win, or lose. Lose. Just lose. Because if they want to do this deal, they will close that deal. Maybe not in January, maybe at the end of the summer. But I don't think it's a type of deal that it's going to be a fight. So if the club really wants Samardzic, if they believe in Samardzic, they kind of close that deal really quickly, in my opinion. So we need to keep an eye on that. I think after the international break, things start more heating up in terms of news because, again, I said it, no real winter break, no real break during the winter. I think you will hear more talks to get certain deals done very early on in January. Also, because you're selling players, you're buying players. I think every club wants to have a situation where they know what they're up against and what they potentially need to do already the start of January instead of the end of January, and then you're kind of stuck with a really bad situation. So let's see how that will develop. But Inter are in the race apparently again. The next one is Colpani. Andrea Colpani from Monza. He's 24. He will be 25 next year, probably. Yeah, he will be 25 next year, I saw. So relatively young. Italian midfielder, more of an attacking midfielder, in my opinion. I think he scored 5 goals already this season, if I'm not mistaken. I think he scored 5 goals this season. I'm pretty sure he did. So that's actually a good start to the season for a midfielder. That's 1 on 2. I think we played 10 games already, so that's good. I like Colpani. I think he is taking steps compared to last season, and even last season he had a good game. But Mirko Di Natale is saying, you were closely monitoring Colpani for the summer. The parties had already discussed him a few months ago. He's valued at around 20 million right now. It could increase in the summer. Keep an eye on swaps, with Monza always showing interest, one of them being Miretti. Now, Inter are also in for Colpani, or like they're looking at it. Milan as well. I like Colpani. I think 20 is already the max. If it's gonna be more in the summer, I'll be like, hold on, uh, let's wait. Wait and see, because I think that's a lot of money for a club that does not have a lot of money to spend. The Miretti one also, I need to see. I think Monza is a good club for Miretti, potentially, but I need to see how he develops from now until the end of the season, obviously. You also need to see what happens with Monza. Where are they going to finish? Is Palladino going to stay? Like, what are they going to do on the transfer market? All these things are really important, in my opinion, before you send out a potential Miretti out on loan. I think the remainder of the season is really key to, yes, you're going to do that, or no, you're not going to do that, obviously. I think Miretti will get into the team, and I don't think he will be included in any type of deal if we are really in for Colpani, excuse me. 20 million is already the max, in my opinion. If you're going to go 25 and 26, 7 region, then I think that's a deal you shouldn't be looking at. I've always said it. Then look outside of Europe, or outside of Europe, but like outside of the league. Like, you don't always need to get bullied, quote unquote, by these clubs. We have done it in the past, and it's not always been a success. There are other clubs out there. There are other teams and other players out there. But let's see how that will go. Obviously, the next story, Arthur at Fiorentina on loan. Juve, according to Corriere dello Sport, I think we know that they don't want Arthur. Fiorentina like him, and they want to get him at a discount price in January. And I'm like, make it happen. I know they gave him a new deal to spread out the cost, whatever. Get rid, and I've seen the stats and his possession and his pass accuracy. I've seen it, I've seen all the stats. I've seen him play live this season over here in Belgium against a team that are worse than them, but they should have lost. I've seen Arthur play live this season, and yes, he doesn't give the ball away, but also he makes absolutely nothing happen. It's just like, when I see him play, I'm like, okay, you play the ball around good and well, clean, whatever, but a lot of it's sideways, short passes forward, and it's not that he, from what I've seen, initiates big attacks, and if you're on 6.5 mil, and that's what he is, and that's crazy, whatever. I don't know what he will be on a Fiorentina if he stays at Fiorentina. I'm just get rid. He's just not my cup of tea. He just isn't. I just don't like him as a player. Never did. And when I watch him play, I'm like, yeah, man, this is extremely boring. This is extreme. Yes, kudos. You don't give the ball away, but you also keep it extremely basic to a point where I'm like, it will be very bad if you keep giving the ball away if you play at this pace. So see what's possible. If Fiorentina want to make it happen, get the discount out in any way, shape, or form, if it's possible for the finances, obviously, and just get this chapter over with, because that was one of the worst signings we ever made. The last story, Douglas Costa from Fabrizio Romano. He's saying, Douglas keeps dreaming and waiting for Juve. He would love to return there as a free agent, but there's no green light at this stage. He has now landed in Saudi Arabia as he's training while negotiations continue with 3 Saudi clubs over a potential free move. I've already saw a video from Douglas Costa. I thought that was very weird. I thought it was very strange, and it feels like he is begging the club to take him on rather than the club actually looking at Douglas Costa. Do we need something on the right, left, whatever? Yes. Would he be useful? Potentially, when he's fit, and when is he going to be fit? Like, I'm not I like Douglas Costa, but I've always said I'm not going to change it now. I'm not one of those guys who likes to bring old things back, and that goes for coaching, players, and whatever. So that's just me. I think it's more Douglas Costa waiting for it than rather the club actually trying to pounce on it. But that's the daily news. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Tomorrow there will be a video, and then Sunday the match day stuff as usual. So until then, see ya. Ciao.